So the Cooper Run tests cardiovascular endurance. To improve the cardiovascular endurance, we would look at using continuous training or far leg training, which involves working for a sustained period of time without rest. I would want Harry to sort of run a mile 3 times a week before he takes part in other training as a warm-up. It will get him used to running this mile, which will in turn improve his cardiovascular fitness. Over time, this mile will feel easier to him, as well as he will run this mile quicker. Then once a week in the gym on a treadmill, this should be repeated 3 times. He should run at 4 minutes at level 8 with a level 3 incline, and then for 3 minutes at level 5 with a level 6 incline. So the 3 minutes is sort of more of a rest pace than the 4 minutes. We would do this 3 times, so 4 minutes and the 3 minutes, and 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. And to improve this, we can either change the levels, or so like the speed he's running at, or we can change the incline he's running at, or we can change the amount of times this is repeated so that we're creating an overload so that he improves each time he does this. This will get easier for him as well. We can also do 540s on the bikes. So pedal hard for 40 seconds, then recover for 20 seconds. This will be repeated 10 times. Obviously, each set is a minute, so this would take up to 10 minutes. Again, you can increase the time that you pedal hard for, you can decrease the recovery time, and you can increase the amount of repetitions that is done for this. For the sit and reach, Harry's result was 5.2 centimetres, which puts him in the below average category, which we can see here for males of his age. This is lower than it should be. This is lower than we would like it to be. Flexibility is required to prevent from injury within his sport, but also just injury in general. And he would need increased flexibility because this allows for greater power through a muscle, as well as greater range of movement through a muscle. So we can see here on this graph, Harry's result is quite low in comparison. Especially, we'd want it to be at least average, which is a few centimetres more than it is. This is Harry demonstrating here. He took part against the stairs using a ruler and a tape measure. So to improve flexibility, we'd want Harry to take part in static, dynamic, and ballistic stretching, which should be included in every warm-up and every cool-down. So for example of this is within the warm-up, we would want pulse raises, which is jogging, side steps, and crossovers. This obviously gets the heart rate up and warms the body. Then dynamic stretches will be things like high knees, heel flicks, rotation of the arms, lunges, and high kicks. These are stretches that involve movement. Then we have static stretches, which should be taking place for 10 seconds each. So we would stretch the gastrocnemius, the quads, hamstrings, pectorals, abdominals, biceps, triceps, and scapula. These are movements like this. So for example, this stretches the trapezius here. Then we have things like opening the gate, which stretches the groin, the triceps, the quadriceps, and the calves, so the gastrocnemius. There are various stretches that can be done for each of these. It should only be done for 5 minutes at the beginning of exercise or 10 minutes at the end, but it will overall improve. To improve flexibility, though, greatly, Harry could try it like a yoga type of exercise or a Pilates class. Trying to do yoga in the morning, if maybe for 20 minutes before doing any exercise, is a good way to wake up the body, and it's also a good way to improve flexibility. It can also be quite he will enjoy it, and it's a different type of exercise to stop him from getting bored of doing the same thing over and over again. And it's also not very exertive. He won't get tired doing it. Then the handball toss, Harry got 32 in 30 seconds, which falls into the above average category, which we need to maintain. We want to maintain this score. We want to keep him in the above average category, if not move him up to the excellent category. As an athlete, he requires good foot-eye coordination for kicking a football, and coordination is used in lots of everyday tasks, such as just walking in a straight line or brushing your teeth. So we can see in the graph here where Harry falls in the data. And we have a picture of Harry here throwing the tennis ball against the wall and catching it in his opposite hand. He's taken part, honestly, with a flat wall and a tennis ball, which is all we needed. So So for coordination, a good way of improving coordination is skipping, like here doing jump rope. So you start off with general skipping, hopping from one foot to the other, or slowly running in pace. Then you would gradually progress to crisscross jumps, 2-foot hops, or even a faster speed. So lots of boxers use skipping. It's good for all athletes. It's also a good form of cardiovascular fitness, which links in as well. But specifically being able to jump at a quick pace without tripping is a really good way to improve coordination. Not quite the same level of coordination, however, as throwing a ball with your hands, but it is still, at the end of the day, still coordination. The hand wall toss obviously only tests hand-eye coordination, not hand-foot coordination, which is more what Harry is going for. Then we can also use dribbling drills with football within football training. So when he goes back to football training, this is one of the drills that either he could suggest to his coach, or his coach will probably make him do anyways. Using cones, defenders, and then 1 foot or 2 feet. And then we can use target practice, so goal scoring, so just shooting against a defender, practicing taking penalties and things like that. For the 30-metre sprint, we have a picture of Harry here in the fog, running from one, instead of using a cone, we used sort of stick type thing, from one to the other. Harry achieved a result of 4.35 seconds, which falls into the average category for men of his age. In evaluation, this should be much better for the type of athlete he is. Footballers must sprint with the ball and have a quick recovery time. Like I mentioned before, he must be able to move quickly and then recover quickly and again carry on. Without speed as well, your muscles lack power. So Harry's result here should, the aim now is we want his result to be lower, like down here, rather than up here. The slower he runs, obviously the longer it will take him. We can evaluate from this as well. We can see from the pictures he didn't take part in this activity on a particularly nice day. So if we tried this again, maybe in the summer rather than the winter, we could get a different result. We would still like to see this improve though. So to improve speed, we can use interval runs, which we repeat 5 times. So we do a 1 minute fast sprint, then a 2 minute slow jog. And we can adapt this in loads of different ways. So we can adapt it in the way that we do it. So we can get him to sprint uphill and then jog back down and then sprint back up the hill. Or sprint sort of 100 metres and jog 200 metres and then sprint 100 metres. We repeat these for about 5 times. Using this example, we can increase the sprint time and decrease the jog recovery time, or we can leave the sprint time the same and just decrease the recovery time. We can also use HIIT training. Any sort of high intensity interval training will improve sprinting, but all of this is really HIIT training. If he's running at a sprint pace for a long amount of time, and he has a short recovery time, this is HIIT training. We can also use ladder drills, as seen here. This is also links in quite well with coordination. This is good eye foot coordination. But the quicker he can run in a ladder, the quicker he can sprint as well. Then we have the standing vertical jump. We can see Harry here stood measuring his arm up and then jumping with his arm up as well. He achieved a result of 34 centimetres, which does fall into the below average category. So we would like to see this improve quite dramatically. He needs explosive power, because explosive power allows for jumping for the ball. Power is also quickness, so it affects how fast the muscles can contract. So the quicker his muscles can contract, the quicker he can steal a ball or pass it on or change direction. More power is also vital for a strong kick. If he's trying to score goals, he's going to want a strong kick. In the graph here, we can see Harry falls in line here with this below average score. We would want it to be at least average. If not above average, then excellent. We can improve the power by looking at being in the gym. He can use a leg press machine like this one here. We would sort of look at starting with 80 kilograms and doing 4 sets of 10 reps. We can increase the weight as well as increasing the sets. Probably wouldn't increase the reps, but we would increase the amount of sets he does and the weight he's lifting. The more weight he lifts, the more power he has in his legs. If we're looking to increase the reps and sets, but we could lower the weight, this is going to be more endurance. Whereas if we look to increase the weight, it's going to be more how much actual strength he has. Then we can get him to do squats with 5 to 10 kilograms, 5 sets of 8 reps. Again, we can increase the weight or increase the sets and reps. Leg curls like this one here. So we can do this fast for 30 seconds and then slow for 45 seconds. As you can see, it's going to work sort of thighs, quads up here, hamstrings up here. And then we can use calf raises like here with small weights. We only really want 5 to 10 kg, if even less than that. And then do 5 sets and 8 reps of these. And this can be increased or decreased depending on how hard and easy he finds it, and also depending on strength versus endurance. The 1 minute sit-up test, we can see here Harry had to put his feet under a bed rather than having another person assist with holding onto his legs. This is just the conditions we're faced with at the moment. Harry got 22, did manage 22 in a minute, which is average, is good, but it should be higher. We'd like to see it in the above average or excellent category. All of these being below average will come from the fact that he's been out of training for quite some time now. It should be quite easy for him to improve these levels of fitness. We can, for when he's playing football, sprinting, kicking, jumping, and change of direction is all important, which all comes under muscular endurance and being able to do these things. In everyday activities, he needs muscular endurance for things like opening doors or lifting boxes without being fatigued. In the graph here, we can see that Harry fits into the average. Obviously, average here, along with quite a lot of the other tables, is spread between these numbers, and I, for these tables, have had to put the middle. So my average here is 23. So it looks a bit higher than Harry's result. However, he is still within the average. So to improve this, we would look at circuit training, specifically circuit training. So each of these should be done for a minute with 30 seconds rest in between, so recovery time. And we will repeat these 5 times, so 5 lots of each. So we go for things like plank, weight squats, walking lunges, push-ups, sit-ups, mountain climbers, and jump squats, all of which Harry can do. We can adapt these exercises. We can add things like wall sits or V-sits. That's what I was looking for. Take some of these out depending on the day. We can increase the time he does them for. We can decrease the rest in between, and all of these will help to improve muscular endurance. Then after a training program of about 6 weeks, we would look to repeat all of these tests the same again, and see where Harry has improved. We can then compare how he's improved, whether he fits into different data, which we would really hope he does. And all of these can be changed with the FIT principles, so increasing the frequency, intensity, the time, and the type. And yeah, so that is what we would like to see. And considering he has put in all of the consent, this has gone well for us.